Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. We're here today to discuss the strategy of celebrating a pontificator's death, even though they were killed in front of droves of people, including their family, and they never killed anyone themselves. Is it a good idea? I'm going to go with not my cup of tea. Um, for those of you who have been on the moon for the past few weeks, um, it was someone named Charlie Kirk who was shot and killed on camera. And how it was introduced to me, I was at work, and one of my coworkers came up to me. He was like, "Hey, I got some good news." I was like, what is it? He was like, "Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck," and I was like, "That's horrible." He's like, "No, he's a terrible person." And me being the person, like I was at the Gaza encampment. I got to see the people coming together to protest him because he was coming to bring his Zionist talking points. And yeah, I know he's capable of a lot of disgusting shit, which I disagreed with. Um, I'm just of the belief I'd rather him be live long enough to be discredited in front of his followers rather than turned into a martyr, or see the light and advocate for a different kind of change. And like I said, I know he's an ignoramus. He says some of the most ignorant shit. But when you have that level of status, you have handlers. Like I remember when what you call Occupy came to L.A. and I. All right, I think we're back. But like I was saying, when Occupy came to LA, I was super busy working with the company I was with at the time, Fuck Full Screen, um, and it was just like it's hard for me to stay up to date on the news, right? So I had this person. He was always in all of my friend circles. I don't know what he did. He didn't write anything. He didn't. He didn't act. He was just always around. He was a green lighter. He was talking. He loved talking about Israel because he made like a pilgrimage to Israel at least once a year. He had a fat ass crib. He was just a middleman. No idea what his purpose really was because he had no discernible talent, but he had more money than anybody in the circle. All right, and he can make or break your career. And he made the careers of several rapists. But anyways, when we saw the Occupy line out in LA, I was confused as to what was going on. And I was like, oh man, what's going on over there? And he was like, yeah, that's the Occupy people, a bunch of homeless, anti Semitic losers. I'm like, they homeless and they just hate Jewish people? What like you ain't got no house and you just like hate people with Torahs and they got what is it the dreidel? What is it? Is it because they got the little curly Q coming down there? I just couldn't fathom what the fuck fathom what was going through their mind to be homeless and anti-Semitic. Um, of course, that's how he put it because they were going against his interests because he was, I have no doubt, connected to the CIA. He was a piece of garbage. Um, and it's just like when you're in that circle, you're ignorant as fuck. If someone would have asked me what was going on with the Occupy, how I felt about Occupy, I've been like, fuck the anti-Semitic, just said whatever the fuck was told to me because I didn't know any better. I was too busy working to figure out what was going on at the time, you know. So it's just like you have these handlers, and people like Charlie. He was misled severely, but he was rewarded to believe the bullshit. But there was all kinds of videos of him starting to question a lot of the narrative that he was being supplied. You know, and I know for a fact that that's why he got killed. Not because of the shit he said in the past. It's just like Saddam Hussein. He did a lot of atrocious shit. The worst shit he did was with the help of our government or the CIA that claims to represent us as our government, even though they were started. All that shit is illegal. They're a bunch of Nazis. And that's why they support the Nazis in the Ukraine and the Ashkenazis in Israel. Two sides of the same coin. They got wealth, the carrot and stick approach. So they throw a lot of money around people like Charlie Kirk. And he it's easier for him to believe it. For me, I was the illusion is harder to keep up for me because most of my family's military, colored. The struggle is real. Like I see I see that they don't really care about us. They ain't got no help for us. Just narratives to keep us in line. So I was able to wipe the sleep out my eyes a little quicker. Plus, I'm older than Charlie, but it's just he was starting to wake up, and then he got assassinated, and then everyone's like all on his shit. I know he said all kinds of racist dumb shit because he's an ignorant piece of shit, or he's an ignorant motherfucker, and it benefited him to be that ignorant. And but it's crazy how people celebrate a dude who never killed anyone, as far as I know. I mean, if it was Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, I'm not celebrating anybody's death, but I can understand because it'd be like, does this mean the war is over? So that's like the equivalent of killing Hitler in 1945. Hitler wasn't the really running the show. It was a bunch of people behind the scenes pulling the strings, like the Bushes and other business people, and funded by the British government. They loved the Nazis. Then we brought them into our government. So it's not like you killing Hitler would definitely end the Nazis because the Nazis, they're in the American government. They're in the EU. They're everywhere. um, that's why it's funny when people say, "Oh, if I had a time machine, I'd go back and kill Hitler." And do what would you do about the people who replace him? Why wouldn't you go back and destroy the OSS? Why wouldn't you go back, get a bunch of members of ICE, give them all the tactical gear, the most state of the art tech, and then take them back to 1491, and then prevent the white people from colonizing? That's the only time to do something about immigration was 1491. So if I get a time machine, that's what I'm doing with it. Wagwan, big ups. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. And I got Charlie Kirk N-word video. I haven't seen it, and I know he says a bunch of dumb racist shit because he's ignorant as fuck. I mean, he's in that circle. They wouldn't elevate him if he wasn't that fucking ignorant. They provide the ignorance. They lied to you, and he was believing the shit most of his life, but he got killed because he started to question it. And there's videos of him like openly questioning a lot of the shit that Israel was telling him, and that's what got him killed. And then that's what got him killed because then Benjamin Netanyahu came out. He got this whole narrative how Charlie Kirk he loved Israel, and we need to crack down. They got policy prescriptions to crack down the people who they've been focused on this entire time. And it's just like, yeah, it's just like this shit was planned when they already got the solution, just waiting. The same shit with the vaccines. It's like, oh, it's a deadly disease that we predicted. We gamed it out with Event 201. But we have the prescription. We have the vaccine. This is what you need. It's same shit after 9/11. They had, they had all those metal detectors waiting. They had nowhere to put them. All that security shit to scan your scrotum and check your butthole for polyps. All that shit existed. They just needed a reason to sell it, and 9/11 happened, and then it was just like they were ready. Not saying Israel had anything to do with 9/11, but I'm just saying it's just like when you notice uh, they have a solution waiting as soon as the problem hits, that means they may have had something to do with the problem. I am here. I didn't hear the garbage you said before. The garbage. I am a garbage man. Fine. Click channels on things I don't agree with. Well, yeah, I mean, you should click. You should listen to people you don't agree with. I mean, if you're right, you can just debunk everything they said. And sometimes you need to learn something. People just have the arrogance of just assuming they're always right because everyone says the wrong thing. You got a problem. You got a problem, buddy. You got a problem. Maybe you should put more jewelry on your face so other people can see how ignorant you are. Ignorant I am. What is ignorant? Anubis, the the one who protects the afterworld, who can send you to heaven or hell. I mean, that's white people's interpretation of the afterlife. Yeah, you. Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean I don't. You would do good at talking to yourself. That's what I'm doing right now. You have like AI like responses, just negative. I don't even know why you're here. Charlie Kirk, fuck Charlie Kirk. I mean, like I said, most of his career, I disagree with everything. I was at his protest. I think it's a dangerous precedent to set of celebrating the death of someone who never killed anyone. I mean, even if he did kill someone, which I'm not saying he did, like he can't see the light. I mean, he got killed after like coming out making statements that most people would agree with, even the people who just hate him. So it's just like, yeah. What does that say? So like you can't. He started to see the light. He got killed on his way out of the tunnel, and yeah, I just can't celebrate that. You just think of the most ignorant shit you've ever said, done, the worst version of yourself you've ever been, right? If you had time to turn your life around and get known as a different person, that's great. But what if you got shot down while you were in the process of changing, and then you just got known for being the person you were? That'd be crazy, right? I just think it's weird, the celebration. Like I said, so how I found out about it, someone came up to me like, "Oh, yay, he got shot in the neck," and then they came back like, "Oh, even better news, he died." And they were like gobsmacked that I couldn't celebrate the death of so a father of two who got killed in front of his family. You know, and then I went out to do karaoke the other night, and they had like a celebration of his death. Like they just kept shitting on him, and I was just like, "This is just ugly." It's just like he said some ignorant fucking shit, but he was trying to get his shit together. So it's just like if this SL Modi person, if they decided to stop being a loser, just started to get their shit together, started to have positive things to say, and then someone shot them while they were just like about to leave a good comment, and then they were dead, and then all they were known for was being that heinous piece of garbage. Look, how would you feel about that? I mean, I feel pretty robbed of what could have been. Well, maybe that's just my take. Mm. But yeah, uh, um, I just want to weigh in on that shit because it's just weird to see people get so ugly, and we gotta you know stay focused on the important shit. This is mostly a distraction. Yes, I mean Israel's going to be using this to use laws to crack down on your free speech. So it's just like all of that APAC funded the organizations that are just complete garbage. Um, they're going to be making a full court press to pass an agenda that does not serve you. It steals your rights, makes your country beholden to a foreign terrorist state. I mean, our country is a domestic terrorist state. Let us just fix our shit before we start funding other terrorists. You know, I know we're a settler colonial state built on genocide. That doesn't mean we have to continue to support other settler colonial states built on genocide. Just because they're our brother, people make it seem like Israel is running the show. Nah, we're both being made to believe we're independent because we still got the same father as Britain. That fucking piece of garbage. Uh, that's why it's just like I'm the opposite of an Anglophile. Um, it's just I think all of European culture is garbage. It's a reflection of other cultures that was stolen. That's why I hate when they talk about, oh, we're doing this for Western culture. Benjamin Netanyahu. We have to hold down Western culture. Like, no, what is Western culture? Death, destruction, rape, piece of filth, nothing. Look at what they invented. They invented shit. Everything, all the patent system is just designed to steal ideas. They had lights on the fucking pyramids. And believe it or not, people in that area are not white. It's impossible to get white skin in the land of Kemet. And that's what Israel is. Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Sudan, all of these conflicted areas, that's all Kemet. Land of the black soil. They steal their history, steal the lives of the people. All right, back on, boss. Good to see it. Ironically, I was winding down to get off, but I didn't want it to leave so abruptly. But yeah, don't hate. Never celebrate anyone's death. Maybe Netanyahu. I mean, don't do it publicly. It's gauche. But yeah, especially if someone's trying to get their shit together. If you don't believe me, I would encourage people are putting together little compilations of Charlie Kirk's his changeroo when he started to speak against Israel, and yeah, I believe uh, um, that he was dedicated to making the shift. He was calling out like the influence of Epstein. Um, if you look at it, the reason why they didn't release, I mean, the Epstein files have been released, and a lot of the victims have spoken out, called out the abusers, but we never do anything about it because they still have power. That includes Donald Trump. That includes all of his subordinates, everyone under him. All of the people who are supporting this genocide are uh, definitely child molesters. Definitely. Or they like child porn. They just got some weird, fucked up shit. And Israel has the dirt on them. So, and I'm pretty sure they had dirt on Charlie too. Um, like I said, for whatever reason, he was starting to speak out against them. So, I mean, uh, um, never, uh, uh, um, never let hate cloud your judgment. Never hate someone more than you love your people. Um, and yeah, it's wild business to see people coming out celebrating the death of someone who got killed in front of his family. But I never seen like a Malcolm X themed um, karaoke. I never seen them celebrating the life of a good person, just celebrating the death of a bad person or person they view as bad. And I find that, yeah, it's it's, it's just like it's weird how Americans can say everything they're against, but they can't really espouse what they're for. Um, yeah, and it's just like you need a affirmative, um, an affirmation, something like "I want this" instead of "I don't want that." And a lot of people they just know they hate Charlie Kirk and want him dead. And his death will be used to come for your freedom, like I said. And they're getting away right now. They're escalating tensions with Venezuela. Trump trying to finish what he started, killing a bunch of people who they say are drug dealers. I mean, if he really wanted to kill drug dealers, he'd lock up and decapitate all of Pfizer, all of the board at least. Those are the worst kinds of drug dealers. They're the kind of drug dealers who can enforce their drugs into the population. It's not even like a willing person, like, oh, I want to experiment with drugs. It's like, no, we're going to experiment these drugs on you. Those are the people you should be bombing. But instead, he's choosing to go after Venezuela because we know it's because they got oil, all that crude oil, and they're just creating narratives. They're going after a speedboat with 11 people, no room for drugs, especially the kind of drugs Americans use. Um, and then they bombed again, and it's just like all of this stuff is a distraction. They're probably bombing the fishermen who took down the the troops that were trying to overthrow the Maduro government during Trump's first administration. At least that's something I could easily believe. Yeah, so just be mindful of all the distraction. How little. I mean, the death of Charlie Kirk really it's not even worth discussing, like in the grand scheme of things, because we got genocides going on. Only reason is of note is because of the policies that they're going to prescribe to crack down on free speech, and it's going to be, like I said, at the behest of a foreign terror state, a foreign genocidal um, settler colonial state, and we're supposed to identify with them because their model is built on America. That's why they talk about the Greater Israel Project. It's basically like uh, Israel is kind of like Virginia. It's like the first state when Britain started dipping its toe in, or just Europe, because you can't forget that this whole area was colonized by multiple just violent rapists, thugs. Some of them you can assume are good people, but maybe nah. I wouldn't even want to say that. Um, just horrible people. All of the shit that Trump said about Mexicans, that's the white people. It's projection. But that being said, I do believe that change is possible. I think Charlie Kirk was trying to make it, and that's what got him killed. But yeah. So just 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 try to sit with that before you go out and throw your Charlie Kirk death celebrations. It's like, man, that's dude was trying to move in the right direction when he got gunned down, and you can't effectively reach anybody if you hate them, right? If I wanted to change your mind to make you sharper, because I view society as a better place um, when we're not brainwashed to hate each other, right? If I want to actually see you do better, I can't come at you like you're a fucking idiot, dumbass, piece of, like that's not an effective way. You can't reach someone without love, right? So it's just like all of the people who you think Charlie Kirk was misleading, and I know he was misleading a lot of people. Um, but you're not going to be able to reach them by celebrating the death of someone. Flawed as he may have been, he was still trying to be better. And yeah, just try to focus on that. And yeah, just be. It's not about being right; it's about being effective. So if you want to be effective, man, people really stop celebrating it. And plus, it's just like it is really. The coworker who came up like like, oh, I got some good news. He got shot in the neck. Better news, he's dead. That kind of shit. That's concerning to me. That is like genuinely, if he had like freshly killed people, I could slightly understand, because like a murderer is off the street, but it's like that's not even the case. So uh, uh love your enemies. That's the only way. The only force powerful enough to turn an enemy to a friend is love. um Captain Kirk was not shot. Blood pack magic. I mean, i I could believe it. I mean, Trump, his ear healed up pretty quickly. But I mean, um, whether he was shot or not, he was definitely starting to go against the narrative. So that's the moral I want to go with. He was trying to grow. Let's choose to see that. Let's not, let Benjamin Netanyahu. He's like talking about Charlie Kirk like he was a dear friend, and he was talking about how they went on trips to Israel. It's always a red flag. And when you like, if you stay in Hollywood, LA, if you're in the industry, you'll notice like all these motherfuckers, these decision makers, they all got these trips to Israel that they love talking about. And it's yeah, that's what that is. It's just they go on these fucking these genocide preparation trips where it's just like they got some narrative like, oh, look at, we're the only democracy in the Middle East. It really is what they're saying. We're the only white people out here. You got to love us. You got to support us. Fuck the Arabs. They've been here longer, but yeah, we're the only democracy. How are you? How are we a democracy? Uh, do not know. I mean, they're welfare recipients of our money. So they got health care. We fund their military. Um, and then uh, uh, they sterilize the black Jews because it's not about Jewish. It's about just white supremacist garbage. You really think that? I really think what, that Charlie Kirk was trying to be better, or that Israel is a white supremacist society? Because yes, I do. Trump 2.0. Yup. Israel is owned by the Vatican and Rothschilds. Balfour Agreement. Palestine owned by Britain. Okay, this is a conversation. Israel owned by the Vatican. No. Here's how it is. Um, Hitler. We all know the Nazis in Germany. They were the Third Reich. First Reich was the Holy Roman Empire. Holy Roman Empire. They ended up monopolizing on major religion, Catholicism, the Vatican. Uh, um, that's the Holy Roman Empire. What it converted to. It's its own city. It's got its own rules. There's pictures of the Pope with Hitler. Hitler was all about collecting all of these ancient artifacts. Um, he wanted to bring them back to the Vatican because they knew there was a great deal of power in these ancient civilizations' technology. A lot of that shit ended up being reverse engineered, and then it got patented by the West. Um, but it's just like, the same shit. Indiana Jones stealing artifacts from colored people and then just claiming, oh, we're putting it in a museum. Like, it's the same shit. The Vatican was the museum, but that's the First Reich. That is the Holy Roman Empire, what it became. Uh, the the Second Reich that Hitler loved so much. Um, it was a lot of overlap with the Holy Roman Empire because a lot of the families that we know now, they trace their lineage back to Rome. They were the reason why that shit fell, and then they ended up moving to Britain. The British Empire was the Second Reich, and Hitler was a part of the Third Reich. He said his point was to set up the Fourth Reich, right? And that was his mission. It wasn't for the Third Reich to succeed, but to set up the Fourth Reich. And you could argue that the Fourth Reich is Israel. I would say it's the combination of Israel and the U.S. Because the U.S., we play the policeman, like we're square dealing. We're here. We're bringing democracy. We're the good guys. We're gonna fight Hitler. We're gonna fight Nazis, even though we brought them into our government. And Israel, they're the victim. It's like, oh, these people, look at 6 million Jews were killed by this white man in Europe, even though it wasn't 6 million. And it really wasn't about Jews. It's about creating a narrative so they can go and steal the land that Balfour Declaration laid out back in 1917, before the rise of Hitler. Um, all we're just discussing is weaponized narratives. The Rothschilds, yes, they are responsible for Israel. Um, yeah, and they're one of those families that tracks their lineage back thousands of years, because that's how long they've had more money than they could ever spend. Um, like generational wealth, and then like systems that they can continue to exploit. Um, the shit gets crazy. Um, but yeah, they also dispersed all throughout Europe. So they had Rothschilds in every uh, major city. They had banking, and they did business with each other. Um, yeah, just a huge criminal cabal, horrible people. Um, and I actually got to meet a Rothschild. Weird as fuck. Like congenital diseases. You know all that incest and fucked them up. They got all kinds of weird shit like hemophilia. I mean, yeah, the richest people I know are the craziest and the dumbest. So I'll just say that. I'll leave it at that. Um, but then somehow they're always they have something about charity. They got all the money, and they're always talking about some charity they're working on. It's and the charity is not very charitable. I can guarantee that shit. Yes, read Balfour Declaration, Balfour Agreement. Yeah, the Vatican created all the Abrahamic religions. Christian. No, 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 no. They didn't create. Abraham was the one behind the Abrahamic religions. He's from Africa. All of the original Jews were African, black African. The original Europeans were black African, right? Uh, when we talk about the Abrahamic religions getting interpreted by the West, that happened around 15th century, when they were starting to kick out the Moors. They wanted to pervert their ideology, and well, I mean, really, I'm talking about the modern one what we're associated with, because throughout the years, I mean, the fucking Constantine, he brought Christianity to Rome. He forced it onto him. This motherfucker was a pagan his whole life, killed, slaughtered. He converted on his deathbed, and he made everyone else convert to Christianity. And then by the time they got to Constantine V, he was destroying all art, all secular art. So for you to have any artistic pieces out there, it had to be biblical. But like the modern religions that we know, your King James's Bible, King James, a well-known slaver. All they did was plagiarize a lot of the texts from ancient lands. Back then, back in Rome, they used to be able to go to um, the Library of Antiquities, or what they ended up calling the Library of Alexander, um, which they ended up burning down. They took what they thought was useful. They burned the rest down, right? So the Moors, they had to, they were in Kemet. They ended up moving down to Mali, establishing the Mali Empire. But it was like, the Persians and the white people. It was a big huddle for Kemet, and they by that point they called it Egypt, and they started to like break up the different states, and we had like Sykes and Picos lines, make all the one lands into a bunch of different countries. So the Moors, they were like, fuck this shit. We don't need this. We just want to focus on building these libraries, sharing all of this knowledge, right? So they went down to the Mali to start building the Mali Empire. Bunch of Europeans, they went to get their education out in Timbuktu. Um, They took those writings and then they just plagiarized them again, like they did with the Romans did. They took all that shit and they just like made their own garbage. And you look at it, all the shit was protecting the industries at the time. So like all the biblical shit where they're talking about you can't mix fabrics, you can't eat shellfish. It seems silly, but we start talking about like uh, um, supporting certain industries and then encouraging the separation of people from other industries. So like, get away from this. Don't eat shellfish. Just buy some cod or whatever the fuck the king wants you to eat that week. And then people wouldn't read the Bible. They would go into these little like a church and have the section read to them that was pertinent for that week, and it was all that shit. It was just always meant to be a control mechanism. Uh, Christianity is the religion of the slave. Like I said, King James, huge slaver. Black people, they did not want you to know how to read, but they wanted you to know that fucking Bible. Like, know the Bible back and forth, all of the lessons that it has to teach. Why? Is it because it's going to help you? If they really want to help you, they'd like want you to know how to read. They'd want you to not be a slave. But the Bible, I mean, they used to go to fucking go to court. You know, both abolition and the anti-abolition side, they both be quoting Bible scriptures. Would you consider content creation again where you make long form political content? Who says I'm not doing it already? I am. I see you're watching it on YouTube. I just don't post anything on YouTube. YouTube burnt that bridge. YouTube is garbage. Delete it. Um, do you have any other channels? All of my channels got taken down. Only thing I have on YouTube is a tech channel. Yeah, so I lost first my largest channel, 2014. I was shadow banned before that, and definitely after that, like on my other channels. So when I started Nate Flicks, when I was Nate's Vlogs, I was the biggest Nate on YouTube. Like you could type NAT and I would just pop up, and not just my name, but you'll see like Nate Flicks or Nate's Vlogs, Employee Evaluations Rewind, right? By the time they took that channel down, I had to become a Nate Flicks. You could write out my entire channel name and it would just show Netflix recommendations, even though it's spelled completely different. I have no X in my name. It's just uh, um, yeah, disincentivizing people from watching my content. But yeah, and then I lost that channel as well as three other ones after COVID. So, and the crazy part is I was right. I was like calling out YouTube. They had a policy of supporting what they called authoritative news sources. They had the CEO at the time. She was saying you can't say that vitamin C or turmeric are worth taking. You can't say people should take that instead of the vaccines. Because she was saying that's it goes against with the authoritative news sources. And Google was directly invested in those fucking vaccines. They were directly profiting off of it, but you could not criticize it on their platform. That is a cartel. YouTube is a drug cartel. If Donald Trump wants to take out a drug cartel, you can go with YouTube, you can go with Pfizer, you can go with Moderna. It's all kinds of drug cartels. All of them, the ones who are getting our funding, right? You would start with them. You wouldn't even have to bomb them; just stop funding them. Um, But yeah, so the YouTube they shut my shit down because I was questioning their cartel, and ironically, the lady who made a video, the CEO, who was talking about we need to listen to the authoritative news sources because all that turmeric and vitamin C is going to kill people. She died of some mysterious turbo cancer a few years ago. I'm not saying it was the vaccine, but I am saying I bet she wishes she took some more turmeric and vitamin C. I do believe that. If we can like dig her up, bring her back to life, be like, you want this vaccine or you want to go turmeric and vitamin C? But yeah, that's not it's not really an option at this point. I'm just, postulating. How you been? Man, getting through it. It's crazy. Some crazy shit. Lost loved ones last month. And then I found out my nephew, man, if you really OG, you've been around for the My Pigs days, you may remember him. He used to be in some of my old videos. He got stabbed. That's crazy. Yeah, so yeah, I've been trying to get in contact, see if I can get him to house sit, get him out of the environment he's in, but you know, he's having some difficulty. Ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt are all fabrications. They did not exist. I mean, I wouldn't say, yeah, ancient Egypt is not a thing. By the time what you call Egypt was in its ancient period, it was Kemet, land of the black. It became Egypt when white people discovered it, and it was just all downhill after that. Garbage. That's why the people who brought all the wisdom they moved to Timbuktu, to Mali. It was like this is just it's just crazy chaos. But yeah, hey Nate, what it do? Gotta have a way to find your new channels. I've been watching since Nate's vlogs, but I know about the tech channel. Oh yeah, well it's good to know. Hey, and you can go back on the tech channel. You can watch me reviewing phones before Google or Apple, before they even existed. And you can see we had more smartphone options before the paid. What is it? Google is a fucking government subsidized monopoly. That's how they are able to get in. They put all their competitors out of business. Evil company. But if you like go on the tech channel, you get to see those what existed before Google. It's actually better. I miss the days of phones having keyboards. Man, now everything is just a fucking screen, a slab, no personality. Disgusting. You're doing evaluations on people who are struggling. Stop being hateful. Who's hating? Use your platform to spread love and positivity, not bigotry. You fascist. What are you talking about? Do you know what fascism means? Do you know? It's like that word is thrown around a lot. It's not really understood. I'll quote someone who's really good at fascism, Mussolini. It's the merging of the state and corporations. So we're not going to be in a fascist state. We are in a fascist state. We are a fascistic state. I am a revolutionary to the state. I do not believe any of this shit. I am the opposite of a fascist. I think if we're going to have any government subsidies going to any business, it should be worker owned. Yeah, that's who's the fascist. Your opinions are the reasons the leftists have any grounds or excuse to stand up. What? Low key tired of your based opinions. Okay. You were doing evaluations on people who are struggling. Stop being hateful. What people are you struggling? I truly think you lost sight of the plot. Keep posting. We need you. Well, yes, it's good to be needed. Keep posting, dog. We need you. Oh, well, it's good to see you're on multiple platforms with the love. That's quite good. But I am approaching that hour. I do gotta start getting ready for work, get my laundry, um, and it's good to see you guys. We will be back, um, and I got some updates for you. Uh, but yeah, just want to tap in. Love your enemy. Uh, at the very least, love your people more than you hate your enemy. You'll never be able to reach someone without love. So be good to each other. Peace.